Hello everyone, welcome to Balls and All, your sports and leisure show, and as you might see behind us, apart from the big D block that some of these boys should be locked up in, we're down at Fremantle, and we're at the Fremantle Jetty, aren't we, boys?
Yes, we are, and we're jet setting around. As you can see, this is still Fremantle, and a lot of things have happened here. This is where they had the America's Cup, which went to Australia in 1983. Alan Bond and the boys.
Thanks, Alan. You're a bloody legend. I hope you watch our show. We'd love to talk to you anytime. And also back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, when all the people were coming
that's a car. That's a car, by the way.
A lot of the immigrants, the Italian immigrants and all that. Here's where a lot of your family might have originally come, right here to the Fremantle Wharf back in the old days. Well,
also,
anyway,
yes.
Before we get going, everyone.
Are we going?
Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the letters and the people who've seen us recently and saying what a great show and how much it's progressed. We appreciate
Tony,
it.
Danny, and Dean. How you doing?
Right. There's the guys behind the scenes who always like hiding. Thank you for watching, and let's get the balls and all rolling, as we say. And here
have a big old salty one. Yes.
Still two goons, of course, as you can see. I got Wayne Simmons.
Howdy, how you doing? And drink a lot of orange juice for everybody under 12.
I don't know what this thing about orange juice is.
Yeah, it's very good.
And of course, James. Hi, James.
How you doing? The orange juice he's talking about has got vodka in it.
Oh, busted. Remember, this is the family shows.
Okay.
But we did say leisure.
Now, don't forget, whenever you get a chance, Frio is a great place to come and visit, and that's where we are today. In the
Surfing
sunset,
USA.
right off to our side here. Many came down many nights fishing, but now, unfortunately, you can't do it anymore. And these old big factories, buildings, or big buildings you see behind us, years ago is where they used to store all the stuff, but now with modern technology, it all comes in on the big container ships and is distributed that way. So they're just really warehouses now.
Now, James.
Other than the E Street Shed up there, the E Shed markets, which we're going to show you a little bit of, and that they've made that into a market there, so you can come down and have a look.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until I started seeing the commercials, so that's a good deal. Now, James, is there anything you want to distribute today?
Yeah, I'd like to introduce the first story. We went down recently, Australia Day, so it wasn't that recent now, to the Burswood foreshore and spoke to the people about speedboating. It was a great day. There was the jet skis there and stunt people, and that was pretty good. So let's go take a look.
We're looking.
And go. They're off and racing. Oh, a bit of a trip and a stumble. In they go. And they're off. Who's going to be the first of that first buoy? I'm on the plane quickly. Dennis Peach there, Steve Brown, and a couple of other boats holding their tails. Let's see what we get to that first buoy. They're all looking good. Quite a clean start there. We haven't got to run upside down yet, not the third. And out they go. Very tight on the first buoy.
Hi, I'm James from Balls and All, and I'm down here at the Burswood Water Sports Centre. I'm speaking to Steve and Nathan. How you going, guys?
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, would you like to tell me a bit about the class you guys race?
We've just moved up from 8 standard up to 10 sports. It's going real quick.
What type of boat do you guys use?
We designed it ourselves, partly Kevlar, partly plywood, mainly a fiberglass design.
Is it a cheap sport to get into?
If you want to just start to get into it, a couple of thousand, you get yourself up and running. And then as you get better, you learn more and you go for bigger and better props, and yeah.
Is there much maintenance involved in keeping the boat running?
A lot of little stuff you do yourself in the shed. I mean, if you're just a handyman, you can just do a bit of fiberglassing, a bit of painting. Yes.
Okay. I was watching it just a minute ago. I seen there's two men. The front guy leans over the boat. Would you like to explain what that's for?
Steve's the driver. He obviously drives the craft. I'm the decky. I able him to steer by leaning out to the sides and what have you, moving forward and moving back at the appropriate times on cornering.
And what's the rules out there?
There is rules you got to abide by. I mean, you got to give way at certain times on corners and stuff. But it's just first to the finish line.
And how long have you been racing?
I've been 10 years.
Yeah. What about you?
I've been racing 2 years, yeah.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, it's great. I've just joined up with Steve, who's won the Avon last 4 years. So we've moved up a class, and we look forward to this year's Avon.
Good stuff, guys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're still here at Burswood, and now I'm speaking with Shane. How you going, mate?
Not too bad. Yourself, Jason?
Good, mate. What kind of class is this boat?
It's actually a bathtub race with 8 horsepower motor on the back, 2-stroke. We use props, these choppers here, as performance propellers.
Yep.
So yeah.
And what got you into this?
Actually, my dad started me into it. He was racing and brought me into it when I was about 6. So
You've been racing a while.
Yeah, I've been around it all my life, sort of thing. Yeah, get into it.
Is there any further steps up you'd rather go after this one, or?
I wouldn't mind getting into the Avon and that, because I'm not old enough to race yet. But when I am, I want to get into 10s and that. Try and get a win under my belt in the Avon or something.
How fast can these things go across the water?
I'm not exactly sure, but probably close on about 60 kilometres an hour, somewhere around there, yeah.
How'd you go in that last race?
I was doing reasonably well. I got 2 firsts, 2 thirds, and did not finish because I flipped in that last heat. So yeah, I was going right. I think I'm coming about 3rd now.
Bummer, right?
Yeah.
What kind of experience do you need to, like cars, you get used to driving on the road, and obviously water's different. What kind of experience do you need to get out there and just give it a go?
Not much really, just a bit of, just go out and give it a shot. It's alright, you just keep plugging at it and you get better and better. So.
Good stuff, buddy. Wish you the best of luck in the future anyway.
Okay.
Catch you later.
Nathan Love goes through. He's just great to see. Nathan's done his job for the day. Interesting to see who's had to push in it tonight at the Love House hole with Nathan coming through. Like Fremantle being in the 2nd place race.
We're still down here at the Burswood foreshore, and as you just seen, these ladies were just out there skiing. So let's get some names and talk to them, eh? How you going, girls?
Hi.
Yeah. What's your names?
Chris. Simone. Rhonda. Roz. Melissa.
Okay. Did you girls all start together in this?
A few of us started together with the Scarborough Water Ski Club, and the others have just come up later on into the show ski.
And how much training goes into doing this kind of stuff?
Usually every 2nd week. Just coming up to show sometimes every week.
Thank you, Andrew. I'll talk to you later. This is Constable Bigger. So as they go past, the girls from the WA Ski come on, some single screen. We're not holding there, right?
We all start with the basics and then we progress as we go along. It doesn't take very long at all.
And what kind of training gets involved in this?
It depends in what sort of acts you're in. If you're in ballet, you do a lot of ballet practice, or we do pyramids and just whatever you're in and the practice you need for the act.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah. What got you into it?
Actually, I was born into it. I've been skiing since I was 8, so I've been doing it. No, I just grew up in it and I loved it ever since I was little. So I was dying to get on the water at a young age.
Cool. Thanks a lot for your time, girls. All the best of luck.
Thank you.
All the best.
Welcome back, and that's another boat, not quite like the speedboats you just seen, and we're just at the other end of the jetty. We're out behind our camera guys. You can see the North Mall and the South Mall.
Some beautiful footage, actually.
Fantastic big sailboats coming in. We just live in such a fantastic city here in Western Australia, here in Perth. And off to the side, James, what's this big monstrosity we have over here?
Yeah, this is another big one. It's the AS Ovens. It was commissioned on the 18th of May 1969, and it had 26 years as an operational submarine with the Australian Navy.
I was talking to a chap there recently. Unfortunately, we came a little bit too late. We will try to come down another day and do a story on it. And his name was Rick, and he actually used to be on one of the submarines, not this particular one, back in the Second World War.
Yeah, actually. So he had a lot of experience there, and said he served on several campaigns, so it'll be interesting to chat to him and
6
find
years,
out what
I think
that's
he
about.
said. He said this is a real luxury one to back in the Second World War, and I'm sure any of you old submariners who go back to those days would recognize one thing he pointed out, or a couple of things he pointed out, that this one actually had air conditioning and it had showers and all that. So
it's pretty amazing.
In the cabins where they sleep, they even had doors on them, which is different to some of the older ones. Said it was a real luxury to have a door on your cabin. Something I suppose you don't think about.
Okay, now anyway, we're going to be taking a break, and we'll be right back after this message. Back to Balls and All, and we're standing outside the Maritime Museum here in Freo, and we're standing right in front of the ship. What's the name of this ship here? The
Ansell, yep.
And tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it was built in 1953 by an Aboriginal boat builder, and
his name was Doug D'Antoine.
Something like that, anyway.
Yeah, it's a way to mangle the name, but that was good.
Yeah.
I know what I was talking about.
And this is a pearling boat from up in Broome.
Broome pearling boat.
Right, and it was restored in 1993, also by an Aboriginal youth worker who fixed it all up and whatever. And so if you're coming down to Freo, obviously come down. We're just near the America's Cup Harbor, or I think they call it Fisherman's Harbor now.
Yeah, I think so.
Outside the Maritime Museum.
Oh, too many M's in there, Moose. Moose Maritime.
We never mess up on this show. One take wonders we are.
Yeah.
Now, talking about someone who never messes up is a young guy who's got a great future ahead of him.
Yes, Danny Green. We covered some boxing the other day. Danny Green, who is also the top amateur in Western Australia. He is so good that it's hard for him to actually get bouts. He's on his way to Sydney to train at the Jeff Finnick camp, and he is also a hopeful for the Olympics. So as you can see, he's a very hard puncher, a very great athlete, and we should get behind him. So just check out this story.
Yeah, and while you're watching this story, just have a look, because there's another Australian hopeful there. You'll see him in some
there was a few champions in there.
Yeah.
I saw him. Actually, the guy kind of looks similar to somebody I know.
Not to mention the trainer you talked to, Rocket. He's an Australian champion as well. So have a look at the story.
Hello, I'm here with Rocky. No, not that Rocky. Rocky Deviliers over at the Deviliers Gym in Bayswater. How you doing, Rocky?
Not too bad, thanks.
You want to tell us a little bit about Danny and his progression up the ranks?
Yes, young Danny Green. He's been with us since '92. Originally, he started training with my father, Patrick. He started out at the Claremont Football Club when my father was helping his brother Brendan with the football for his fitness side of it, and Danny just took it up from there, and he took up the sport of boxing, and he's doing very well.
Excellent. I hear that he is actually so good that it's really hard to get him a fight in West Australia.
Well, that's true. All his opponents have been on the hard end, on the canvas. You know, he's got a 50% knockout record, and sparring partners are very hard to come by in WA, let alone in Australia. So we have a very hard problem trying to prepare him to keep him at maintained peak.
Now, I'm sure your family's pretty proud of what you've accomplished here with Danny, as I'm sure with other champions in the past. Now, what do you foresee for Danny in the future? I know there's some talk of the Olympics, and what would he have to do to get to that level?
Well, Danny's got a very good chance of making the Olympic team. First, he has to win the Australian title. Then, he'll be selected to go to Oceania Championships. then you got to win the gold there to be selected to go to Sydney.
Okay, now in other words, you got to be the number one, or that's it.
Well, not only you have to be the Australian champion, to go qualify for Sydney, you have to be the Oceania champ, the whole Oceania region.
Right.
Otherwise, you don't make the grade.
Well, I mean, he's looking fighting fit at the moment, and we wish you guys all the best and every success with this gym. And we wish all the best for Danny, who is a proud West Australian, born and bred. So we definitely wish him all the best.
Yes, we're all behind him. He's a proud West Australian, like you said. He's a definite sand graper. All the boys look up to him in the club, in the state, and throughout the boxing community. He's a well-respected man, and basically he's a good kid. So best of luck with Danny.
Now, if you could tell us a little bit about how long you've been training with Danny.
Yeah, well, I've been sparring him for about 4 years now and off, and when I first started he was 71 kilograms, so a lot smaller than he is now, and just basically seen him get better and better as the 4 years has progressed, and now he's basically, it's very dangerous for me to spar him now because, you know, he always spars at international level, you know, not just state level like he was before, yeah.
Right, and I imagine it's been quite difficult for him to get a fight because of his talent level now in WA.
Very difficult. In fact, a lot of boxers have been trying to lose weight to get out of his weight, or put weight on and get you know, fight the heavier blokes, which is, you know, pretty good, I reckon.
Now, you guys have been together, training together for about the last 4 or 5 years. Now, what does your training consist of? I heard you guys did a little bit of cross-training as well. Is that right?
Yeah, well, basically we're both surfers. Danny's main sport obviously is boxing. I'm right into my surfing, so we basically do a lot of beach running, stuff like that, surfing, paddling, chin-ups and stuff like that. Yeah, just to mix in with the boxing. You know, it all helps him. You know, keeps him fresh and ready for boxing. You know.
Now, you've had a chance to see some of his fights. How would you assess his talent?
Oh, he's very hard puncher. You know, and as the 4 years has gone on, he's become so much harder to hit as well. As you can see, he really slips and it's very hard to hit.
Yeah, because I mean, the other day when I was introduced to him, he shook my hand, and I think I'll probably have to have surgery. So that just shows me if a handshake's like that, I don't want to be involved in a punch.
When that shake comes together, you know, that's not too good when it's landing on your head, that's for sure.
I've decided to take some precautions, you know, since I'm in the ring with one of the better champions around. So I just think that this will help me, enable me to do this interview properly. I'm here with Danny Green, West Australian champion. Actually, in '97, he won the title for Australia. How you doing, Danny?
Good, thanks, Warner. How you going, mate?
Very good. I'm feeling very safe at the moment. Now, if you could tell us a little bit about your background.
Just don't let that head go for you, mate. I'll still get through it. But yeah, I started boxing in '92 with my father's good friend Patrick De Valero's and his assistant coach and his son Rocky, who's an Australian champion himself. And I started there and we had a few fights, and I went on to win the novice title in '94. Okay. Then I had a bit of a break because I hurt my hand, and then I went on to win the silver medal in the Australian titles in '96 in Melbourne. And then I won the Arafura gold medal up in Darwin in May '97. I had 3 wins, 3 knockouts, and then I won the Australian title over in Adelaide in November '97.
Oh, excellent. Now, you've come a long way in a short time. What do you contribute that to? I mean, other than hard work, because a lot of people work hard, but they haven't come as far as you have.
Well, I know boxing is a very hard sport, mate, and you've got to be disciplined. You've got to sacrifice a lot of the good times and a lot of the good things that go with life. But just put it down to really hard work. Basically, my trainer, Patrick De Valero's, has been like a second dad to me. He's the reason I'm here where I am today. We're a team, and also my father, Malcolm, and mother, Maria, have been really supportive of me and just basically getting down to hard work.
Now, you guys have, you've moved up in weight class. Now are you at what, 81 kilos, is that right?
When I started at light middleweight, they moved up to middleweight, and then this year I've just put on a little bit of weight. It's been a bit hard to get down to 75 kilograms, so I've had to move up to 81 kilogram, which is light heavyweight, and I'm weighing about 84 kilo, so I've got to still lose another 3 kilos to lose 9 kilo, which is 75 kilo, be impossible. So I've stepped up to light heavy, mate.
Excellent. Now, still, you're having trouble getting anybody to fight you around here. I think it's because of your ability. You've kind of like, no offense, West Australian boxers, but you kind of like outgrown them in terms of your talent. Now, you fought overseas. What was that like?
When I fought overseas with the Australian team, I fought in China, England, I've been in Canada for 3 months fighting over there, Samoa, New Zealand, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Papua New Guinea, and all over Australia. But the West Australian Boxing Association, as far as it hasn't got as many boxers as over East Australia has, but we've got some really good boys. But yeah, once you get to a certain level, it's very hard to get good fights and good sparring partners to progress to make you even better. But yeah, like you said, no offence to West Australian boxers, we've got some really good guys coming up. Right. But as you get to a certain level, you have to go overseas to get the experience to always keep you sharp.
Now, if you could tell us a little bit about your upcoming training. You're going to Jeff Phoenix camp in Sydney, is that correct?
When I started over there, went first there in '95 and trained with Jeff and lived at his house for a week, and he's absolutely great guy. He's really down-to-earth bloke, and he got where he is today because he's just a hard man, but he's a very, very, very nice man and really, really down-to-earth guy. He's helped me out a lot, and I go over there basically, we train with him. He's got a WBF world champion, he's got a upcoming WBC world champion, he's got a light middleweight Nader Hamden who's ranked 15th in the IBF and who's defended his Australian title 7 times I think now, so he's got some really good sparring partners. So with the help of some of my sponsors, which Russell Athletic, these guys in amateur boxing, it's very hard to get sponsors, and Russell Athletic have been an absolute dream to be with. Really good quality clothing, they've really helped me out. ASICS give me free shoes, free boxing boots. Hungry Jacks have helped me out with sponsorship, and they've been an absolute dream. Like I said, they've been absolutely great to me. So I'd just like to thank those guys, Russell, Hungry Jacks and ASICS Shoe Company. So yeah, and as far as going to Sydney, I'm off there in about 3 weeks, Wayne, and I'll be there for about 3 weeks and hopefully line some fights up over there. I was supposed to fight here on the 10th, but I have to fight in Sydney now because my opponent had to pull out through, he had state titles in his own state, so hopefully that should go well, Wayne.
Now, if you could just talk us through what's the progression going to be like before you have to, in order for you, like, to get to the Olympic level, what will you have to do between now and the next couple of months?
Wayne, I've got to win the state title if I can get a fight in Western Australia. Then I go on to win the Australian title in April, I think April the 13th to the 16th in Queensland. My main opponent there will be a guy called Jason Delisle from New South Wales. Very nice bloke. He's got some keen interests, the same as me. He surfs a lot, so it's going to be tough. It's tough getting in there against guys that you like and know. But it's once you get down to it, it's a sport. You the bang crap out of each other, and then you get out and have a beer and handshake, and it's good sport, mate. That's why I like it. Then I win. Hopefully, go on to win the Oceania title over in Samoa in May. If I win that, I'm off to the Olympic Games.
Excellent. I mean, I know it's tough fighting against people you really like. I mean, like, I like my cameraman, but I still try to beat the crap out of him when I get a chance. So I can understand that. He's laughing now. But now, how's your family? Your family's been very supportive through this. I heard you had a brother that was a great footballer.
Yeah, my brother Brendan, he played for Claremont. He won fairest and best and won 2 premierships with Claremont Football Club. He was a very good footballer. Actually was drafted to the West Coast Eagles, but didn't have much luck there through injury, so he went on and just played league footy, and now he's got a little boy, Thomas, who I'm the godfather to, maybe, if he comes through the goods. But yeah, and my mother and father and my sister and my other sister Narelle and Shani, they've been great to me, really supportive. My girlfriend Nina, she's been really supportive of me. All my friends, Brooksy, all my mates, Benny and Molly, they come over watch me. Big step. They come over watch me in Commonwealth Games last year, and mates like that, you really,
that's irreplaceable.
Appreciate enough, mate. Yeah.
Now, I guess the big question is now, how is your hand holding up, and what is the preparation going to be like for that?
Yeah, Wayne, I had an operation in October, 1st of October. I broke it in Canada in the last fight I had there. Fought the Irish team, they came over and I broke it first round again, but I ended up knocking him out in the 3rd round. Okay. That was a good fight. It was live on TV through the States, and 5,000 people at the fight, so it was really good. Had a plate put in there, 2-inch plate, stainless steel, and 8 screws. So it's come along really well, and hopefully be fighting in the middle of March if all goes well, mate. So fingers crossed, it's looking good.
Okay, then. Well, look, I just want to thank you on behalf of Balls and All Channel 31, and we wish you every success. I mean, we know you're a proud West Australian, and you've done a heck of a job up to this point, and I can't think of anybody that has gone this far in a 7 or 8 year period, in this sport, which is one of the most toughest, demanding sports in sports. So we wish you all the best.
Thanks very much, Wayne, and also I'd just like to say thank you very much for all the West Australian public for getting behind me. It's really good going on to the fights, and I really love my home state, Western Australia. It's really good going up and going over the east and knocking guys out from over there because they all think they got the wood in us, but we come from the best state, and just hope that the WA public can get behind myself and all the boys looking for a place in the Olympics. Thanks very much, Wayne, and thanks very much to all my sponsors and my family and friends.
Thank you, Danny.
No worries.
Yeah, that was me back in the old days. I was a little bit fitter then, you know. I was fighting heavyweights like this young man. I think his name is, and I was fighting Joe Frazier. You know, I was giving them the 1-2. Trouble is, they was giving me the 3, 4, 5, 6, and I was out. But we won't get into that. Now, Danny, you ready to go for gold, the Olympic Games? Are you ready?
Oh, bring it on, man. Let's see what you got, mate.
Oh, all right, then. Yeah. Yeah, I never liked your cousin Fred and Bobby. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, what are you doing? I'm pretty good. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Yeah, Danny, good on you. And I think that guy at the end, James, I think he must be like a world title holder. What do you
I seen him on TV just the other day boxing, you know?
Yeah, no, he was pretty good. I thought he was tremendous. And, you know, I don't want to say this, but the guy kind of looked like me a little bit.
Yeah.
Little bit.
No, but that guy looked like he knew what he was doing. You see by the
focus.
See what it is. Focus.
The way he had his helmet on backwards.
Yeah, he was ready.
Yeah. Now, tell us about, still outside the Maritime Museum here in Fremantle. Tell us a little bit about this anchor here.
Well, actually, this is what we like to drop every Saturday, guys. But this is the Eglinton anchor. Now, this comes back to 1852, which is actually the year I was born. But actually, it's 469 tons.
That's the size of the ship that it came off of. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's 36 meters. Yeah. And the one thing about this is it was totally disintegrated, but this was redone to actual size from 1852. So guys have to have a good memory, similar to mine.
Yeah, so look, come down to Freo, have a look at the Maritime Museum, and have a look at the sub. So
we're just about to go to a break.
Sure are.
Welcome back, everybody, to Balls and All Summer Series. I've lost Moose and Wayne, but I found a couple of other guys, and one of them's got a bit of a likeliness to me. This sculpture was made by Pietro Porcelli. He died in 1943. As you can see, I'm still right in the heart of Fremantle with the old church behind me. And I'm going to send you a story now, which I did a couple of weeks ago on the Rat Pack, which is a youth rally team. So let's take a look. Hello, I'm James from Balls and All. I'm in Wangara at the moment. I'm going to be talking to a couple of competitors who are rally drivers, and they're going to be racing in Bustleton soon in the Forest Rally. So let's go take a look, eh? Okay, how you going, Gavin?
Good, thanks.
Gavin is the driver, and the passenger over there, the lovely lady, that's Hannah. How you going?
Good, thanks.
Okay, how long have you been driving?
Coming up on 7 years.
Yeah, and what initially got you into it?
It was a government youth project, driving some fairly basic sort of cars. Progressed 30 years, and now I'm driving this beast.
Yeah, and Hannah, if you might have seen before, we did a story at the rally in Perth last year. She was the co-driver there in a different car, so how does it feel to be in the bigger car?
I've yet to find out, but I've been in it once and it's pretty fast.
And how did you guys go on that rally?
We didn't actually finish, the alternator broke.
Okay, all right. How long does your season go for?
Basically, it starts in April. It's the first round of the Forest Rally. It's the first round of the Australian Championship.
Yeah.
We do 5 rounds here, plus in November, Rally Australia. It's the round of the World Rally Championship.
Okay, well, what kind of areas do you go to?
We start in Bustleton, that's the Forest Rally. Go all the way down to Lawana, to Harvey, Collie, Boddington. Yeah, virtually everywhere in the state.
All over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm speaking with Bob at the moment, the team manager. And is it true that this car was Colin McRae's car?
Yes, originally, up till 1993, it was used by Colin McRae as part of the Pro Drive team. The car still carries some stickers on it from his days in it. Obviously, some of the running gear isn't the same. That went when Pro Drive disposed of the car. It originally came to Australia in 93, 94. It was run here in 95. And 96, and we've had it 97, 98 and 99. The car is from the Premier Division of Rallying in WA. It's a Group A car. That means we're allowed to carry out far more modifications than we can on the other class, which is basically Group N. This engine in here, particularly at the moment, we've got some troubles with it because we've lost power. We were hoping to have somewhere around the order of 300 horsepower, and we've only got 240. We're running some new camshafts in it. Our engine rebuilder's going to have another look at it, and we'll see if we can find that problem before we get to the Forest Rally. You can see the engine is basically a flat 4. You've got 2 cylinders this side and 2 cylinders this side. That makes for a nice low centre of gravity. We have on the front here an intercooler that works with a turbo that's driven by the exhaust to ram air into the engine. Rather than for it to breathe like an ordinary car, this one is actually forced induction. This bit of pipe work you can see around here is actually a water spray and sprays onto this radiator, and the water, as it evaporates when it hits, actually drops the temperature in this inlet manifold by 6 degrees Celsius, so we're getting free power. You can see it's got some bits and pieces underneath the bonnet here. All the lines are braided rather than the ordinary rubber hose you find on a normal car. It takes a higher pressure and it's safer. So twin master cylinders on the brakes. Inside the car there's a special device where we can balance the brakes front to rear. Gavin, as he's driving, can change the bias from front to back. The clutch on it, we'll have a quick look. Compared to your ordinary clutch, this one is a competition one. If anybody's seen the clutch out of their ordinary car, they would have seen that it would have been in a complete circle round, and it's like a composite material. This is basically copper, brass. It's very, very hard, so it grips. That's a heavier cover, fits on the outside of this to normal, and it grips and handles the power that this car will put out. Actually, they're not much dearer than an ordinary clutch, but it lasts a lot longer.
Can they go in standard cars, those
Yeah,
clutches?
you could put them in. The only difficulty is if you're a person that rides a clutch, very quickly you would knock one of these out.
Yeah.
And they're a bit sharpish on the uptake sometimes. So, whereas an ordinary clutch, you can sort of feel the car away.
Yeah.
These ones are
Take
either...
straight off.
Yep, bang, and you're away. So that's the complete clutch assembly. The car is actually four-wheel drive. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that the front wheels drive as well as the back wheels drive.
Is that the same as every other car in the class?
Or in this class, yes, the four-wheel drive turbocharged cars. The common ones, well, this is getting to be an old lady now, so there's not many legacies left here. The modern one everybody runs is a Subaru Impreza based on the WRX, and the other ones people run predominantly are the Evolution Mitsubishi's Evo 6, the Lancers or Evo 5s. You still see one or two people have got the older cars, like the old Celicas and what have you. There are some other ones run with smaller engine capacities from the Mazda range, the 323s. But they're giving away 200 or 400 cc, so they're giving away power. And ultimately what this game's about is power. He who has most wins. No substitute for cubic inches. To use the American term, or in this case, no substitute for a big turbo and other. Yeah, all the bits and pieces. We've got still got the original 555 racing brakes on it. They're AP from the UK. They're 12 inches in diameter, and the car's brakes are phenomenal. It stops once it's warm. When it's stone cold, it doesn't stop until the pads warm up. Okay. Through the running of the thing in the gearbox, it's got a special front differential, which is a plate one, to transmit the power to the front wheels. We run a special viscous coupling in the gearbox, which is the same as a guy called Cody Crocker runs in his car. We've actually found we've got a problem with the rear diff, which we need to sort out, because that's not delivering the power to us as well. Missing from these bits at the moment, the top of the suspension struts, in the shops you see underneath the edge of the cars, the suspension units, they're being rebuilt at the moment. They're Pro Drive ones. And I recently priced the set over here, and they're about $7,000 for the four.
Far out.
Yes. There's a very easy way to make a small fortune from any form of motorsport, and you just start with a large one. It takes money all the time.
Yeah.
We're lucky the thing basically runs like a sewing machine. We've never had any mechanical problems with it through the drivetrain anywhere on any of the events that we have done. I think Subaru built an exceptionally good car in the first place, and they're fairly easy to work on compared to some of the other four-wheel drives that are around. We can drop the gearbox out of this in 15 minutes. Some of the other ones it takes a lot longer, and it ends up in your fingers. They did to me on one occasion. Yep, it's a good old girl.
Okay, Hannah, would you like to describe a couple of the instruments in front of you there and what your job actually is?
Okay, well that's a map light. When it gets dark, I can see the notes and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is a terror chip. If we're reading by the road book, there's a little button here that I press, and it just tells you the distances.
Okay, do you guys, when you go down to a course, do you get to go for a test run so you can work out the map, or how does that work, Hannah?
If they have practice sessions, usually we're allowed to practice, but otherwise no.
Otherwise they just give you a map and you pretty much read off that?
On some events we can pace note. That's where we drive around in a standard car 3 times over each stage, write up a set of notes amongst every corner, every bump, everything. Normal events we just get a map book with basically what they call tulips, and little descriptions of the corners, which is not every single corner, but the major ones where we could go off and have a big accident, basically.
Ever had any wrong ones?
Well, in my view, yes, but probably not in navigator's view.
Okay. The driving experience in rally driving, Compared to road driving, I don't know if you've ever done that before, is it a lot harder to drive a rally car? Obviously you're on pebbles and you're on anything else out there.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Speed is a lot higher. The obstacles are this far away from the car, and you're doing some serious speed. And it takes a lot more concentration than driving down to the shops for a pint of milk.
What kind of speeds can you get up to in it?
This thing, flat out in fifth gear, up to about 220 kilometres an hour.
Have you ever hit that?
Once.
Through the bush?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah, it's a pretty good rush.
Oh yeah, and there's a fairly long straight, but it'll get there. It's got a fair amount of horsepower, this thing.
Okay, do you guys ever do any night driving?
Yep, most events do go into the night. We have a set of big CBA spotlights on the bonnet, and they're worth a lot of money, so I don't run them during the daylight because I could smash them.
Okay. Hannah, how long have you actually been involved with rally driving?
Last year was my first season, so only about a year.
Yeah, what got you into it?
I loved working on cars, and Bob just said come up and join Rat Pack and the youth team.
Yeah. Would you like to explain a bit about what Rat Pack is about?
Basically it's just a group of guys working on the Subaru, and that's it.
Just here to have some fun.
Yeah.
Apart from if it's ever crashed, whatever, is there much maintenance in keeping it on the road?
After every event, basically as you see it now, this happens. Everything's out, we strip,
totally.
check. Like at the moment, the gearbox is out.
Yeah.
If I can warm it off a moment. Just down there. Yep. This is part of the gearbox. Another bit that goes on the other side, you can see at the moment, it's nice and empty, all the parts are out being checked, there's no cracks on the teeth or anything.
So you strip it totally?
It's totally. The whole of the suspension comes apart. Can I grab a strap? And I'll show you those bits. Yes. Okay, now the gearbox. This is the gearbox out of the Subaru. After each event, we strip it down, take everything out, and check all the teeth for damage, the bearings, make sure everything's in perfect condition. It has to handle a lot of power. We run special oils in here, different to the ordinary road car, to take some of the loading through them. And that's one half the case, there's the other half, and this is the back part of the gearbox that's got a viscous coupling in it. Every event, out, stripped, cleaned, back together and back in. Here we have actually one of the rear suspension units from the car. It's stripped down at the moment. It's the spring off the back, which sits on top of this plate. And normally what goes through here is a long shaft, which is actually the shock absorber or damper. And we take these all apart after every event, clean them thoroughly, and re-oil and re-grease them. Currently these ones have been away being serviced. That takes specialist equipment which we haven't got. But shortly they'll be back and the whole lot goes back into the car. But every event, stripped, so we know that barring accidents everything's perfect.
Thanks a lot for your time. So how have you gone so far this season?
We haven't actually started this season yet. The last few seasons in this car I've usually got into the top 10 out of WA drivers. Rally Australia last year, 6th WA driver home and about 30th outright.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're up there. We're just lacking the final few dollars to make this thing really quick to knock off the guys with the big money.
Yeah. You're obviously the driver. Is the navigator really a necessity?
Oh, definitely. If without her, I'm basically driving blind. It's like turning the lights off. I just don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, it's not
I can see a
easy.
track, but I don't know if I have to turn left, turn right, or accelerate.
Hannah, as a female navigator, would you like to say anything to other women out there who probably admire you?
Well, I encourage it because it is a male-dominated sport, and I just encourage females to do it. Like Cole Taylor, I admire her because she's the top, woman navigator. So I just say don't let it stop you and go for it.
Yeah, that's great.
This isn't a sport that excludes women. This is very easy for women to get
No, I
into.
think that's
Driving,
awesome.
navigating, it's very easy.
What do you see for the future? Like this is obviously your first race coming up soon, the Bustleton race.
Yep.
What do you see for the future?
Obviously, first off, we'd like to finish the For Australia in a strong position. From there, I guess our aim is to try and challenge the existing champions for the state championship. That's over 5 rounds, as I said. From there, basically getting the money to do the Australian Championship. That's in 5 states, but requires a lot more money than we actually have at the moment.
Speaking about money, I've been looking at the car and there's a lot of stickers. Are you guys pretty financial?
Not really. Stickers you can see in the car are basically people we know who can give us support. Basically, you can see Phil Snape's panel beaters there. They need to fix a car if I need to. Well, if I crash it, basically. Blueprint, they build the engine for nothing. We supply the parts. So no monetary sponsorship at the moment. That's basically what we really need to really keep this going.
What about all the crew? Are they paid, or is it just all voluntary as well?
No, they're all voluntary. I guess they like me a lot because they.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell anyone?
Okay. One thing I should mention: Hannah's been selected to compete in Targa Tasmania. It's one of the world's biggest tarmac road races.
Would you like to explain a bit about that?
Yeah, it's a 6-day all tarmac rally. 300 cars go in it, all classic modern cars. Neil Bates and Coral Taylor are going in it, Jimmy Richards. You have to get an invite to compete in it, and it's quite an expensive rally.
How did you get into that?
I got invited to do it by Ken Jaffe,
Okay.
who taught me to navigate in the youth team.
That's awesome. Wish you the best of luck with that, and wish you guys the best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, if you'd like some more information on this, look at our screen right now. You'll see the website come up and the phone number. Also, if there's any sponsors who'd maybe like to get involved with a youth team, these guys can use some money just like everyone else, I suppose, and they do a great job. So if you can help them out, do it, and I wish them all the best.
Hi, I'm Gavin, I'm the driver.
Hi, I'm Hannah, I'm the co-driver.
And we're the Rat Pack, and we'll see you at Busselton Forest Rally.
Yeah, welcome back, and that was a great story, and congratulations to Hannah there with the
Targa Tasmania, which is apparently a really big thing, and she was chosen to do that, so that's great. She should go out there and just give it hard.
Now, Wayne, what about you? You ever been in a rally or anything?
Yeah, I've been to a few rallies. Most of the rallies were to get me out of town, and it was fairly successful a lot of times, so I've moved quite a bit.
Yeah, it feels funny with tar and chicken feathers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, you know what I mean? But I still scrubbed up well.
Okay, we're sitting in front of one of the beautiful Moreton Bay fig trees just outside the Fremantle Town Hall. You can see behind us next to the church that James was sitting in front of before. And
I think this tree was called Fig, too.
Fig?
Figaro. Figaro, Figaro. No, sorry.
Okay, before Wayne starts singing too much, what are we going to do, James? We're going to a break. We know everything we're doing on this show.
Don't respond too fast.
Okay.
Let's see that in slow-mo.
Going to be back in a couple minutes, just as the bells toll.
Yeah, welcome back. We're standing in front of the Fremantle Town Hall, and it was actually founded in 1829, so it's been here for quite a while.
Sure has, and beautiful place here, Freo. Beautiful day today, isn't it?
It is, and you know what the good thing about that is? I have socks that are older than that town hall, but, you know, it's very good.
And if you're smelling something in the moment, you might know what that is. Okay, now, we went down and watched the Gridironwest Finals between the Saints and the Giants.
It was a tremendous final, too. A lot of good players there.
A top game, and we're going to show you some footage of that right now.
And the grand final is underway.
As you can see, the Saints starting well. Frazier Clark running off tackle there for a significant gain. And then they tried the other sideline with a big run. So it looked like the Saints win for a fine afternoon. The Giants, on the other hand, went sparingly in the first half to their top running back, James Chavez. And he shows you why last year he won Most Valuable Player for the team on that play. Very hard physical encounter this game, as you would expect from a grand final. Inside handoff that time for a touchdown. And that was to James Chavez. So you can see both teams were fired up. And that's a touchdown for the Giants. Now it's 6-0, and they're looking for the conversion here. Good fake that time by Foster, the quarterback, and they get the 2-point conversion. So they lead 8-0. Then the Saints came back. Once again, here it is. Frazier Clark running very hard and strong all day. And you have to credit his offensive line that time. A big pitch again to Frazier Clark. He really wanted the title. As you can see, he's running hard. Would have run for close to 100 yards. Now you see back to pass. Foster, he looks, he throws down the sideline. It's complete to rookie Williams, who had a fine day. Dixon back. Now you can see on this play, this is why he is probably the top quarterback in the league. He throws on his wrong foot, throws to a great wide receiver, Paul Brown, touchdown. Touchdown, that's 6 points for the Saints. Here's the 2-point conversion try. Oh, now it's a handoff here to Omar Harris. Now as you can see, because of the physical nature, Omar Harris was not happy on this play, and he voiced his displeasure. But if you'll see on the very next play, you'll see Omar Harris put on a monster hit that time, although Craig Higgins did, number 33, go for significant yards for the Giants. Here you see Foster under pressure. He's cool, he's calm. He throws a touchdown strike. A touchdown strike to that man again, rookie Williams. Handoff inside that time, and the defense was very strong from the Saints, and the halftime score was the Giants 14, the Saints 6. And you see the crowd into it. In the third period, you see Jason Dixon was put under a lot of pressure by great defense by the Giants. Here you see him getting sacked by number 84, Atkins. Once again, there's that man, James Chavez, showing you blinding foot speed as he got to the outside. And credit his offensive line, number 68, and a lot of other players for some significant blocks. Handoff inside that time. Now here's where the Saints defense was very tough. There's another play. Saints defense very tough. On the final play, touchdown. Touchdown for the Giants. James Chavez again. Here we go, Foster going to the air for the 2-point conversion. And now the Saints are facing desperate times with the score 22-6 in the fourth period.
Last time these two teams met, the Saints pick it off right in the last 2 minutes of the game. Cole Buffalo. And here's the kick. Given by number 26 of the Saints. Looking for the middle. Blocks 26, looks like he might have ran one of his own men.
Okay, here you go. Craig Higgins again. As you can see, his offensive line was so good, he basically went into the touchdown area virtually untouched. And that's the game with the Giants victorious in the 1999-2000 series. The score was the Giants 28, the Saints 6.
Since then, we have so many new guys. The average age of our team has now dropped down to about 19. And it's a big thing for us running 22 rookies this year in the side. And so really this trophy belongs to these fellas. Basically, it belongs to our supporters that have helped us this year. We'd like to thank them for coming out and supporting us. Moms, dads, girlfriends. Great hands. And rookie, come up. Even though this team belongs to the whole team, I asked them to come up and take this trophy to the front.
Yeah, that was a great game. Fantastic win for the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, they played really hard, and I like what they did with the running game. It was so punishing, and you got to give a lot of credit to Higgins, and you got to give a lot of credit to James Chavez. They had a game plan. They ran hard. Both players ran for over 100 yards, and that's a lot of yards in the gridiron game.
Not to mention Jason Dixon and Big Dino, 77 for the Saints. So, top game, and that'll all be happening again next year. Most teams will start training about July, August, and what's what's happening at the moment, James?
Yes, in about a week from now, on Sunday, February the 27th, they're going to have a bit of a flag ball competition, 5-on-5. If you come down to Ashfield, just not far from the train station, it's just opposite it actually. And
about 11:30.
About 11:30 on
5-on-5.
Sunday.
It's going to be non-contact, so you don't have to worry about getting injured and stuff like that unless somebody has really bad breath and they might kill you.
It's a good way to learn the game if you're interested in it, and you might want to play it full time, so come down and try it out.
Yeah, have a bit of fun. So anyway, we're going to be leaving you now. Okay, thanks for watching the show. We'll be back next week, 8:30, Monday night, and the name of the show is...
Balls It All!